Dear l'ODG friends, wherever you are, I am really pleased to have you again in this show where I call on people, experts, professionals to talk about various topics pertaining to education, to artificial intelligence, and to a series of topics that we treat here of interest to you, whether you call for those topics or we choose them because we see that you are very into them and very interested in knowing what's going on within the Moroccan environment and also abroad. Today, I've chosen to invite to our studio here in Rabat at l'ODG Mr. Adnane Bennis. Mr. Adnane Bennis is a Moroccan national who obtained his bachelor in the United States, precisely at the University of East-West Chicago, University East-West in Chicago. He also holds an associate degree in English literature from the University in Fez. Mr. Adnane Bennis is a professional. He worked with international companies, IBM to start with, and moved on to other companies. I'm going to welcome him for you, and we'll ask him a couple of questions so to further introduce himself, and then we will have, as usual, our talk. We'll be more than happy to hear from you further about the talk and about the discussions we will have with Mr. Bennis. Mr. Bennis, welcome to the show. I'm very happy to have you here. You've heard me talking about you. I'm sure that there are so many other aspects of yourself that you would like to tell our listeners, and please go ahead. We're listening. Why don't you add whatever you see, however you see it?
Thank you very much for having me.
My pleasure.
It's a great pleasure to be here with you. I'm very happy to talk and have this conversation heart to heart about education in Morocco, about media and other fields. My name is Adnane Bennis, born in 1980 in Fez. I studied at the University of Sidi Mohammed bin Abdullah English Studies. I had, as we say in French, DUG, so it's a second year of English Studies.
Yes.
I was one among many thousands of my generation who were always thinking to go abroad and have a better education. It's mainly for education. So I chose to go to the US, mainly to Chicago.
Many thousands and thousands who would like to go?
Thousands of my generation who were born in the 80s and 70s. Lots of them were migrating to France, to other
But you chose the United States.
I chose in the United States because I've always thought of something different. I wanted to be different.
How different? Why is it different?
I love to be different, and
Okay.
I encourage people to be different.
Okay.
This is why even when I chose with my brother to create this crazy idea.
We'll get to that, but tell me please, why different? And then you did go to a specific state and a specific city, cold, very cold,
Very
Chicago.
cold, yes. It was by coincidence.
Okay.
It was by coincidence. I never
Tell
thought.
us about that.
Yes, I will. I never thought that I will go to the US. At the time, I'm talking about 2000, the year 2000, nobody had ideas about what is the US, how life is in the US.
I did.
I'm talking about in general,
Okay.
because at the time we didn't have internet. It was just introduced to us.
Yes.
Nobody had any laptop, no smartphones, no connectivity with the outside world. So whatever ideas we had about the US, about Chicago, were from movies.
Well, we had laptops in Morocco.
Very few
then.
people.
Yeah,
Very few people.
had
It
laptops.
wasn't like that.
And
It wasn't
internet
like now.
was starting. So
Yes.
in our country it was starting, but
My first time using the internet was in 1998. and I paid in a cyber cafe 20 dirhams per hour, and I was just amazed at this new technology and waiting for the globe for 30 seconds to give me some.
So how did you go to the United States? How did you come to decide to go and end up in East-West University in Chicago?
It was destiny. It was myself and my friend discussing our future, because we were studying English literature. At the time, we didn't have many chances like our young, talented people now. They have so many opportunities. Our generation didn't have many opportunities. We can either be a police officer, a teacher, go to university, study Arabic or English or French literature, or
but here you are in East-West Chicago, graduating in what? In
computer science.
Computer science.
Yes.
Okay.
So we were always thinking of what can we do so that we can achieve our dreams, because we had
a dream,
dreams, ambitions.
The American dream.
The Moroccan dream.
What is the Moroccan dream?
The Moroccan dream is to have good education, good health, good job.
So we too in our country have a dream.
Of course, of course, and we have the right to have our own dream.
And the way to achieve it is to go abroad to the United States, for instance.
No, the way to achieve is to work hard, as hard as you can, to have discipline and to have big dreams.
So if you had kids, do you have kids?
No, not
no.
yet.
If you have kids, that's what you're going to tell them.
Exactly.
That there is a Moroccan dream.
I will instill in them the principles of Moroccanness, which is discipline, integrity, hard work,
values.
Of course, values. Our Moroccan values. Integrity is one of the biggest values. Morals.
So we are in Chicago. How was it in Chicago?
It was very cold.
Very cold.
It was very cold. Yes.
Yeah, well, that's the north. It's very cold. Yeah.
It was a great time in Chicago.
4 years for a bachelor. 4 years.
4 years. Yeah, but I spent 9 years in Chicago from 2001 till 2009, and then I moved to New York.
Okay.
But
IBM in Chicago.
No, IBM was in New Jersey.
Okay.
But in 2001, I landed in Chicago 7-8 months before 9/11.
Okay.
And there is a difference between Chicago or the US before and after 9/11.
You felt it?
Of course, I felt it.
How so?
Everybody felt it. We were very scared, very afraid of what might happen to us.
Did anything happen to you?
Not necessarily bad, but many things happened to us that made us change.
Were you prejudiced?
Of course, social profiled. We were even thinking to come back. To go back to Morocco, because it was really, really hard times, especially the first 2-3 months after 9/11. We were forced to go to the federal buildings all over the US if you are a national of 54 countries that happen to be Muslim countries and Arab countries. So I am from Morocco, my friends, we were
but Chicago is different than most of the American cities.
Yeah, but this was a federal law.
Okay.
A federal law that asked all international students.
How did you go through that? How did you feel it? How did you go through it? How did you?
It was discriminatory law, because we were 54 countries from Muslim countries.
But yet you stayed.
Of course, I stayed.
Why?
I faced.
Was that a challenge?
I faced the challenge.
Okay.
And that's how we can grow. We faced the challenge. And when we were asked to go to the federal building,
one of the things you would say, you would tell your kids, do not be afraid of challenges. Go for them.
Of course. Okay. Challenges make us strong, made us know who we are, discover our abilities, our capabilities, and move to the next level.
Okay.
Because if we don't accept challenges, if we don't go to challenges, we will stay in our comfort zone. And once
so you consider East-West University as the first level. What was the second level?
The first challenge was to go migrate
to the
United States. And I can't tell you how hard it was.
To go or to stay?
Both. To go and to stay, especially as I told you, in 2001, there was no internet. It was something new. So when I landed there, I had 3 of my friends. and we were living together in an apartment, empty apartment. We didn't even have furniture, and they had to go to their jobs. 2 hours to go to the job, 2 hours to come back. So I basically was seeing them few hours a day, and I was by myself
in the apartment.
In the apartment, very cold. There is nothing, nowhere to go, no internet.
How
nothing.
did you live?
You manage yourself, and you tell yourself, this is my new life. This is a new chapter in my life. I have to be strong. I have to make it. I have to make my family, my country proud of me.
Okay.
Because even when we leave Morocco never leave our hearts. It's always there.
Okay.
We were always thinking of ourselves as ambassadors of Morocco.
Morocco proud of you? Is that your second reason you went to the United States for?
To make my family and my country proud of me, of course.
So you got your degree in computer science.
Yes.
You did what then?
Well, before I got my degree in computer science, I went to the US to study English and communication.
Oh,
not computer science. Computer science just came
an accident
as a result of 9/11, because in 9/11 things were changing, laws were changing, and we had to find school where we can study as quickly as possible.
And to stay, so to be able to stay there.
We were staying there, but we needed to be in a legal status.
Yes.
And East-West University was offering this great program of computer science, and it was
a
trend.
Good university?
It's a good university.
Would you recommend that to others?
I would recommend it. Yes, I would recommend it because I would recommend it to others because at East-West University.
Did you feel any discrimination in West East University?
No discrimination, because it's a very diverse community of students.
Thought, yeah.
Very diverse. Hispanic, Black African Americans, Arabs from different countries, Egypt, Palestine.
Tell me about your
Jordan.
studying there. How hard, how different, how difficult was it, or how easy, if ever?
At the university. It was partly hard, partly different, because as you know, we are from middle-class families,
yes.
So our parents didn't pay for our tuition. We were paying for our tuition, so myself and my friends were all full-time students and full-time working.
Yes.
So we were supporting ourselves, working 5 days.
So you were violating the law?
5 days.
You had 20 hours a week that you were able to work, allowed to work, 20 hours a week.
Yeah, but we managed to work.
Okay.
We managed to work.
To pay your tuition.
Yeah, to pay. You know, when you are in a situation, you need to find ways how you can manage.
Well, that's great.
And succeed.
Yeah.
What is important in life is to succeed and make ways, challenge yourself.
So you did. If it were to be done again, would you do it?
At my age, I wouldn't do it. But if
I
I were,
with hindsight, would you go back and
of course, I am going back to Chicago. I'm definitely going back to
do what?
To meet my friends, to see
Your
other
university?
people, to see how the US has become, and to enjoy life in the US again. Because I grew up as a man in the US, so the United States is part of me. As much as Morocco is part of me.
About 15 years ago.
I moved back to Morocco in 2013, so almost 10 years.
I mean, when you graduated from the university?
In 2005.
2005, that's 18 years ago.
Yes,
18 years ago. Love the university?
Yes.
The environment, the campus?
Yeah, the environment, the growth.
Do you think that we could have campuses like that? Do we have campuses like that in Morocco?
We do. We have better than that.
We have better than that.
We have better than that. In Rabat, in
I'm happy you say that.
Yeah, like the great University of UM6P,
great.
UIR.
Well, let us go back. Let us go back and talk about you. You're there, newly graduated, got your degree. Okay, what are you going to do? Bite into life and go for it, find a job, and
it wasn't easy, really.
It was not easy.
It wasn't easy to find a job because we were international students and we were given only 1 year to find a job.
yes,
And the issue we had, not only me, but all of us Moroccans, is that instead of going and finding internships, because we weren't rich families, we take advantage of summer to work hard so that we can find money to pay for our schools at the next year. So we didn't have the chances to have internships.
okay.
And we didn't even know what
You
is
didn't
a
find
resume.
them, or you didn't want to go for them?
No, we didn't find them. We didn't have the chance to do that because the opportunity cost that was that if I needed an internship, my family should pay for my tuition.
Yes,
Our families didn't have $20,000 to $20,000 a year to pay for our tuition. So we need to find ways. It's a sacrifice.
you should thank your family now.
Of course,
because
of course. I
Okay.
am always grateful to my family, to my friends.
you know, whatever you say now will be very helpful to so many young Moroccans
Yeah,
who are
well,
driving to
I am
go and
I am only speaking about my experience.
Yes.
My experience.
well, experiences do help
Other
others.
experiences are different.
Yes.
Some are more successful, some are not more successful, but I am always asked to give advice to people who are going to the US, and my answer is I can't give you advice, but I can give you hints of how life, or tips, how life is in the US, and I can tell you about my experience. Because my experience concerns me and concerns
Okay.
my personality and the situation where I was living. Because
Okay.
9/11 and post 9/11 and 2008, before and after the economic depression, were special
Different
times.
times, special
Exactly.
times, yes.
And the war against Iraq and
So,
Afghanistan
Mr.
shaped.
Bennis, you got your degree, you go out, you work for IBM, you work for other companies, and you shape yourself into business. And all of a sudden, a shift.
I was always an entrepreneur in my mind. I always
Okay.
had this entrepreneurial.
What's an entrepreneur in your mind? You're not
is
talking to
someone-
me, you're talking to
Yes,
people
yes.
who
It's
are
someone-
your age then.
Yeah, he is or she is someone who open to take risks,
Okay.
have the courage to say sorry if they make a mistake, and always working hard, and in
Why
finding
sorry?
innovation.
Do we have to apologize for our mistakes?
Of course.
Why?
Because that's the right thing to do. We are human beings. We can't
Okay.
always be perfect.
Okay.
And if we believe in ourselves, if we need to also believe in our surrounding. If we want to be successful,
Environment you're talking.
exactly.
Okay.
If we want to be successful in whatever endeavor we want to achieve, we need a team, and to have a strong team, you need to give them a sense of belonging. You need to be close to them, and as I said, we're not always perfect.
Nobody
And we're
is.
human beings.
Okay.
Sometimes we make mistakes.
Yes.
Sometimes we try to say something, but we don't convey it in the right way. And people are different, so we need to be close in so many ways to our team.
Okay.
And
So
give them a sense of belonging. That's the most important thing. And to have a philosophy of inclusiveness.
entrepreneur drive, how did you express that? How did you do it?
Let me tell you why I was always an entrepreneur in my mind.
Well,
Because
yeah, I'm here to
my,
hear, to
my
listen.
father, Allah yarhamou,
الله يرحمه.
when we were young, as 10 years old, 11 years old, myself and my brother, because we were a big family, we are 7. I have 3 brothers and 3 sisters, and I am the youngest. So
Are they watching you now?
way-
Will they be watching
they will
you?
be watching me. Yes.
Okay, good.
The way how he can instill principles of responsibility was that he takes us to his shop in
Okay.
Fez.
Where was his shop?
It was
I know Fez.
in القيصرية.
قيصرية.
قيصرية الكفاح. Yes.
Okay.
Close to Moulay Idris.
Yeah. I know
And
القيصرية.
what he used to do is
What was he doing?
He was selling traditional clothes.
Okay.
جلابة, قندورة, بلغة, and he was also a designer, you know.
Okay.
But at the time there was no
But they were
copyright.
So what was he used to telling you?
He used to give us a small amount of money, let's say 2,000 dirhams, to.
That's not small. That's a lot of money.
Now it's small,
Yeah,
but at the time he gave us like capital. This is the capital.
To do what?
This is your capital. Go buy candies.
بيع وشري في الفاني.
بيع طبيلة الحلوى.
I did that when I was a kid. Yeah.
That's a way how he introduced us to
doing business, to be an entrepreneur.
At the same time, he looks after us because we are in front of him.
Yes.
So that's a guarantee that we don't go do something wrong, be delinquent.
Well, believe it or not, I did the same thing.
Yes.
But so, way back. In the 60s.
Yeah. So
no, even before.
For us, it was just a means of entertainment. At the same time,
but you started
we grew our character and we know how to deal with people. And
so
how
why tell me why all of a sudden from business you shift to something else? How did that happen? Because we're going to have to talk about Moroccan world news.
Morocco world news, yeah.
How was the shift? How did it happen?
Let me tell you how I paid for my tuition.
Yes.
How my friends.
Yeah.
I was driving taxi in Chicago.
Good.
So I was always working for myself.
Okay.
That's why I had this entrepreneurial spirit, because I was always the boss of myself.
Okay.
And we used to be ambassadors of Morocco. I can't tell you how many thousands of people who rode with me during taxi. Let's say 30 to 40 people per day.
Driving in Chicago in a cab.
And I was always playing Moroccan music, talking about Morocco, talking about Islam, talking about whatever the situation is. For example, before or after post 9/11.
The one to be president has ever been in your cab?
Sorry? No. But
okay.
I drove with a lot of people from all walks of life.
Okay.
The business
but never
people,
him.
Middle class, all nationalities from all over the world.
And that's the way you paid your tuition?
That's how I paid my tuition. That's how I understood life in the US. That's how I understood the system, how to navigate the system.
Well, let's move to this shift that you had in your life. I mean, you were all prepared to work for a business or create your own business, and all of a sudden, maybe not all of a sudden, you moved to communication. Was that a love?
It was out of passion. It was out of passion. As I told you, my dream was to go and study English and communication.
Okay.
And to become a journalist or work in communication. And I always had this in my mind that I want to be something. What it is, I didn't know, because the 20s is the time of young people to discover themselves. So I was always discovering myself, and between jobs to try and see where I fit. So I discovered that computer science and coding is not something I like. It was very, very hard times when I worked at IBM. I couldn't fit. And I decided to move in 2009 to New York. Why? Because my brother, Adnane Bennis,
who is your partner also?
Exactly. Was living in New York and was working at the United Nations, and I said to myself, why don't we live together? I am in Chicago, he's in New York, and I've always
money and be
together because he's also my friend. He's not only my brother. We used to fight, we used to travel, we used to do many things.
As we always do when we are
exactly. We're only 3 years, only 3 years old. Yeah. So I said to myself, let me start a new chapter in my life and discover myself again. So I went to New York in 2009.
You moved, you didn't migrate.
Exactly.
You were already
it's like a migration. And
Chicago
and New York.
Well, two metropolis.
Two different cities. And it was for me as my first day in the US, because everything was new. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have a job. I was always independent. So that's the time when you discover yourself again. And you give yourself time to reflect.
2009 is when
2009,
you moved to New York.
You give
How
yourself.
did you like New York?
It's a beautiful city. It's
Beautiful, dangerous too.
There is always danger wherever you go.
Chicago, New York, to some extent, yes.
Chicago is more peaceful. New York is more hectic.
Depending on the area where you are.
Exactly,
no?
exactly. New York is like 9 to 10 million people.
Yes.
Chicago is 3 million people. So you can see the
Sometimes
difference.
it's
But both
17
are
million,
metropolitan areas. Both are great cities.
So here you
to
are.
live. Both are cold cities.
New York, here I am, coming from Chicago.
Yes.
I'm all for it. Give me something. What did New York give you?
New York gave me new life,
Okay.
new opportunities,
With your brother?
new friends.
Okay. Moroccans?
Moroccans and internationals,
Okay.
because my brother was working at the United Nations, so a lot of his friends were international diplomats. So that was a new environment for me, and
New dynamic,
it shaped our
Try
our
for
life
the future.
For the future.
Okay.
If we didn't have this entourage of international diplomats, international journalists, we would have never thought of creating Morocco World News.
There you are.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
Yeah, that's what being with your brother, working at the United Nations, getting in touch with.
I also worked as a translator.
Okay, I figured. I figured.
I went back to my origins, which is English and literature.
So again,
I started doing translations.
The two of you, here you are. You decide to do what?
We decided to create a voice, a Moroccan voice in English. We never thought that Morocco News would become what it is now, because honestly, a lot of people didn't believe in our idea. It was at the time it was a crazy idea to create a magazine in English specifically for Morocco and North Africa. When the trend was creating Arabic or French digital media in Morocco and elsewhere, we decided to do something different.
Just to be different?
Not to be different.
Or because you see a shift?
We needed.
Who we?
We as Moroccans, we as human beings always need.
You decide what Moroccans need?
No, we don't decide.
So what?
But we are part of Moroccans.
Okay.
And we had vision.
Do you see a shift, or did you see a shift in the country, therefore a need for what you were about to create?
We had vision that the English language is very, very important for Moroccans to talk about themselves, to sell their goods, to be international, and not to limit ourselves in one or two languages.
Okay.
I'm not against French or Spanish or any other
well,
language.
That's not the purpose anyway.
But I am with diversity.
Tell me about
diversity means that we learn languages so that we can communicate with people. At the same time, we should strengthen our national languages, because if we want to go far and have our culture spread all over the world, like for example Korea, we need to strengthen our languages, Arabic and Tamazight.
Okay.
English,
which are now the two constitutional languages.
But honestly, French is the unofficial official language of Morocco.
Okay.
Now English is gaining some steam. It will need decades to be there.
Decades?
Decades.
Do we have decades?
Yes.
Tell me about the birth of
Morocco.
Yeah. Okay.
It was in November 10, 2010, when we were watching Moroccan TV, what was happening in Laayoune, south of Morocco, especially in the camp of Gdimizik.
Yes.
And a lot of people, especially the young generation, don't know what Gdimizik is. It was,
did not understand, probably.
They don't know it because this happened 12 years ago, 13 years ago, almost. Yes, in 2010.
Yeah.
So we were watching a very delicate situation at the time. A group of Sahrawis were created a camp
Yes.
just 15
Outside of Laayoune,
kilometers
Moroccan city,
north of Laayoune,
in our Sahara provinces.
to ask for more opportunities. What happened, unfortunately, is a group of 25 to 30 Polisario elements infiltrated the camp and turned it from a peaceful camp into a violent camp.
So you needed to talk about that in English.
Before that.
Okay.
So what happened, unfortunately, these thugs killed 12 Moroccan auxiliary forces in front of the whole world. They didn't even kill them. They killed them and
in a very barbaric way. Mm.
The issue was that international media, instead of talking about the camp and talking about what happened without bias, they were blaming Morocco for whatever Polisario was doing against Morocco. So it was as if we are the culprits, not the other way around. And we saw a huge bias in the narrative in mainstream media that wants us to be this way. We are only this way based on their narrative. We can't be the other way. It's only black or white. To me and my brother, this is totally wrong. We felt unbiased, we felt unfairness, and we felt what we call hagra. We almost cried because we saw 12 Moroccan auxiliary forces killed and nobody gave them any credits or nobody even talked about how barbaric
this was. That's what triggered.
This was the threshold that made us believe that it is really time to start talking about Morocco in a different language that is not limiting our horizons. And the language was English, because English was all over the world. The whole world is speaking English. Mainstream media is very strong, yes. And they have this narrow-minded narrative against Morocco, and it's always negative. Whatever they want to write about Morocco, it should be negative. Or whatever we do.
What was your first message? Now you decided, your brother and yourself, you decided to go out and
we want to give ourselves the opportunity.
What was the first message?
Opportunities.
Okay.
Changing narratives. Okay. Changing mindsets.
No, I'm
talking about realities from Morocco, not giving or not letting only people in New York and Chicago and London,
who
Paris
talk about
Morocco based on their preconceived ideas.
Yes.
They don't even know the language. They don't know the culture. They never even visited Morocco. And
so take me to that moment where you had to think about the first message you're going to give out there. And what was that message? How did you send it? And take me to that moment.
I don't exactly remember the first article we published, but because we started working, it took us 7 months almost to.
I can understand that.
To make the idea go into live. But our message was that we are here. And we are here to stay. And there is
just the two of you.
Just the two of us.
We two are gladiators going out
exactly
into the arena.
We are here to change
mainstream
mindsets.
Media. This is not Morocco.
Yes.
You're talking about.
We're
talking about something else. Now we're going to show you what Morocco is.
Exactly. We are here to change mindsets. We are here to change narratives. We are here to not let others control.
Facing all those out there.
Facing all hurdles.
Wow.
Facing the whole
How
world.
How did you do that?
Facing mockery from friends, from other people who thought that we are crazy.
No means, no resources, just you.
This is how ideas grow.
Yes.
You need to start somewhere.
Okay.
If we were just thinking, okay, we don't have money, we don't have help, we don't have this, we don't have that, it would be until now, and we are still complaining we didn't have money to do something. No, I believe in a totally different way. We thought that we need to jump into the ocean and learn how to swim. Okay. This is how we did it, and exactly it was an ocean.
Did you receive any help from anybody?
People who thought would help didn't, and people who we never thought that they would help us helped us. And I thank very, very much our friends in.
You say that
New York.
In the paper you sent me. You thank people. Who amongst all the people who did really help you? you're thinking about now?
I would thank,
You can say.
Yeah, I would thank, there are more, but the two people in my mind, I would thank my friend Benjamin Villanti. He's an American who helped us for 2 years non-stop, and he believed in our idea, and he was instrumental in making Morocco World News at the time a successful endeavor. And I would love also to thank our friend from India, Indian American, Sharon, who also helped us, support us unconditionally. And I am always grateful to their spirits of volunteering.
Here we are, 12 years later.
Yes.
You started in New York, just a dream.
12 years of struggles.
A dream which came true.
Yes.
With your brother,
and
who is still in the United States. Well, hopefully joining you later this month for aid. Et puis ensuite staying for some time, 3 months, I don't know. Yeah. So here you are, 12 years later, celebrating
our 12th anniversary.
Yes, 12th anniversary. Now, tell me the stations, the most important stations that you went through in brief, because I would like to move to education, which is something you're very, very keen on. I would like to talk about all artificial intelligence, for instance, its impact on your work and your team, because you have
of course,
a huge team you're working with. It's not easy, you told me. I would like to talk about that, but tell me, just 2 or 3 stations important in this process.
Well, the first one was the launching of the website or the idea. It was really, really hard to convince people of our idea, of our company, and to join our team. It was really hard. I can't tell you how much time, efforts, energy we spent, the two of us, to convince people. It was 18 hours a day of hard work.
And well, that's what happens when
exactly. Both of us had our 9-to-5 jobs. So we go to work, we come home to work.
Okay.
From going out, going to receptions, meeting people, enjoying life in New York, to working day and night. So that was the first hardest step. And we didn't know anything about what is journalism. We didn't have a business model. We thought of this as a charity, as something we want to give to our country.
Which is not.
It's not a charity.
Not being a charity.
Exactly. We spent a lot of money,
Where
time,
did the money
energy,
come from?
From our pockets. It's a self-funded, independent magazine, and this is the
self-funded
independent magazine. And we decided that we would never apply for any funding.
Why
so
not?
That we don't want to lose our independence. We don't want to lose
what
our
do you mean
editorial
independence?
Line.
Just define it.
2011 was the so-called Arab Spring.
Yes.
And at that time, it just happened that a lot of new magazines were being launched all over the world. And most of those websites, magazines were funded by states, by stakeholders, by foundations,
which is
each for
usual.
A different purpose.
Yeah.
A lot of them are very biased. A lot of them don't have the trust.
According to you, they are very biased.
According to a lot of people. According to a lot of professionals.
Do you have a study that you could show that a lot of them?
Well, people who read, they know the editorial lines.
I just wanted to make sure that we.
But for us, we decided that this would be a totally independent. We want to grow in an organic way.
So you're telling me that Morocco World News does not have any outside pressure, anything?
We don't have any outside pressure.
What's your line?
Our editorial line is based on telling the truth about Morocco, representing Moroccans. Okay. Not only one against the other, but Moroccans in general.
One question,
and let me just finish this.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Because I believe that we don't have the right to impose our ideas, our opinions on people. Okay. But rather we want to give a place of discussion, a debate, especially over hot topics, controversial topics, so we can write about both sides at the same time and not give our opinion. This is our philosophy, about media. Since we want to represent all Moroccans, we want to be in the middle, not representing others against others.
Okay.
But our editorial line is based on respect for our religion, respect for our monarchy, and respect for our territorial integrity. And the Sahara issue.
So these are the three
the
fundamentals.
Sahara issue is the DNA of Morocco News, because
Yes.
that was the threshold that made us believe in this idea and create it and move forward. And we always defend our stances on international arena. We talk about this issue not because we want not talk about it, but because we have arguments that really defend the Moroccanness of the Western Sahara.
Okay, let me ask you the question.
Sure.
If you were to be asked, what is Morocco today? Your magazine is read all over the world. This show will be aired and thousands will watch it. I'm asking you, as just an individual, what is Morocco today?
Morocco today is a dynamic country,
Yes.
moving forward, looking for new horizons, looking for new partners all over the world, and not limiting itself to just one ally over others. We're trying our best to improve the situation of our people. Thank God we have a very dynamic, strong youth who believe in themselves and who believe that they have a chance to move forward and move this country forward as well. What is different from this generation with our generation is that they don't have the complex of inferiority towards the West. They are totally dynamic, tech-savvy, interconnected, they speak languages, and very, very smart. And the fact that a new wave of technology is coming, especially AI, will give them a chance to really do something in this world, and not only to be reliant or following the trend. They can be the creators of trends. And I am very, very happy and optimistic about this new generation of Moroccans who are really smart. They speak, as I said, many languages, 3, 4, 5 languages at the same time.
This is not new.
But
I mean, one of our particularities is that we are very, let's say, open to languages.
Yeah, but we never had the chance to speak other languages than Arabic and French. Now we're adding English.
You think so?
Yes. Now we're adding English. We're adding Mandarin.
I think
Korean, Japanese, Russian. Moroccans are really good in languages. Not only that, they are agile, flexible, and we have the ability to.
Is there a paradigm shift?
To adapt ourselves.
You think there is a paradigm shift from French to English? A mentality shift also? Is there something that you see as?
I believe there is a tendency to move more into, not a shift, just a tendency to move into more languages.
Why?
English is one of them. Because I'm not a supporter of shifting French to English. No, I'm strong.
No, I'm not talking about you. You're the.
It looks like there is a shift, but there is no shift, because when we go to forums, when we go to business, when we go to where it matters, French is the queen. There is no other language, no Arabic, no Tamil, no English.
Let me read your words, please.
Sure.
Now that the country is embracing English as the language of education. This is a shift. The language of education used to be French.
It's not a shift.
Now, these are your words.
We are only embracing. We're not shifting.
Well, you embrace something new.
Yeah, we can't shift without.
Why wouldn't we have a shift? Why wouldn't you be comfortable with the shift? What's wrong with that?
I wouldn't support shifting from one foreign language to another foreign language. We can add other languages and use them as means of communication, not as the core of the shift. No, we want these languages so we can speak to the world, so we can have stronger economy, stronger youth, that they can be different from
So
other
you
and
would be
competitive
comfortable-
from other nations. But I wouldn't support a shift of mentality from the French mentality into the English or British
I
or
was not
American
talking about
mentality.
mentality. I was talking about media,
Because
which is language. Language is a media.
When we talk
For me,
about
it's a vehicle.
when we talk about language, we talk about culture and we talk about
Well,
mentalities.
we agree, you and I, that our culture is the one we stick to, and you said
course,
that a few
of
moments
course.
ago. So I'm talking about a language as a vehicle.
Yeah, I am supporting a Moroccan English, not British, not American, but a Moroccan English.
What is Moroccan English?
A Moroccan accent. And Moroccan English is an English that you and me and others would feel comfortable speaking without trying.
But you have an American accent.
I have Moroccan accents.
This is an American accent.
This is Moroccan accent. Yeah, this is Moroccan accent.
Okay, that's what you call it, a
Yes,
Moroccan
Moroccan
accent.
accent.
Okay.
I don't care about how the accent sounds as much as I care about the message,
Whether
the
you are
fluency
understood or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the fluency, the consistency, and how I say it, and
So English in education,
the proficiency of the English. Not,
English in education would not be a shift from.
no,
French?
it's not a
So
shift.
what would it be? How do you qualify that?
It would enrich our education.
So if we start teaching in English
yeah.
in our preschool,
Yes.
elementary, and
Because we still have Arabic and French.
well, Arabic will always.
Yeah, and we're adding English.
Okay.
And as I say in all my speeches, English is the language of today. Chinese or Mandarin is the language of tomorrow.
So we should start.
And by
learning.
tomorrow, I mean long term,
Yeah.
50 years from now.
Yeah.
Because now the whole world is speaking English, business, technology, science, everything. But let's not forget that China is coming. And if we want to always be at the top,
Up to date.
to compete with nations
Uh-huh.
and to have new allies, we need to allow ourselves and allow our young people to not stick to one language.
To open up.
Or to, exactly, or to
open up.
one way of life.
So let's open up to artificial intelligence. You and I.
Yes.
How do you see artificial intelligence impacting your job, impacting? Do you see yourself home with all your colleagues scattered all around, no offices? No, I've jotted some of some ideas, and I'm gonna run them by you,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
With pleasure.
Let's say no offices. Would you see yourself having no offices?
Not now, but maybe.
I'm not talking about now,
Yeah.
but eventually.
Yeah. I see that. Well, we are a hybrid company. We work
No
both.
people to deal with physically.
That's happening now. It's very hard to accept, but it's reality.
I'm
see
talking
it's
about
coming.
your business environment. This is your business model. I'm talking starting with the first one. No offices.
Why not?
Why?
It will be cost effective if I happen to have a strong team who can be autonomous and can work from home or from other places.
You would have people working for
Yeah.
you in China.
Yeah.
You're talking
Yeah, we
about
do, we
languages
do. Now-
from China, from India, from all over the world.
Now we have two co-workers who work from
You would
from
be paying
abroad.
them less. So no offices.
It's not about paying them less. It's
I mean,
about
it's
being
important.
efficient. It's
Okay.
about being efficient because if you have an office, there is a cost of time, energy, and
So here we are
money.
because this is a trend. No offices, no people to deal with physically. You agree?
It's not if I agree or not. It's reality that's coming to us.
So-
and there is no going back. We're only moving forward.
No
And
paper.
Artificial intelligence.
No more paper.
No more paper. Almost.
Okay.
Artificial intelligence will accelerate the process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Avatars all over the place.
Maybe.
Your avatar going
Metaverse.
to China to discuss with somebody else while you are discussing with me? Is that something you would think of?
Probably. I'll give you an example. When I was young, when we were young, watching cartoons, we used to see in cartoons people talking to each other via satellites, and we were young. We thought this is just in cartoons. Now we talk about with each other through WhatsApp and other means of communication, and it's happening. So maybe the idea of avatars, as you said, may happen 5 years, 10 years from now.
I like
And
it. I like you
metaverse is
opening up
coming.
to Avatar.
We have to embrace technology. We can't
How would
give it
you-
our back.
How would your media outlet be in a metaverse environment? How would you see that? Could you just speak to it?
It's very hard to
Imagine?
to imagine it, but we are a forward-looking company. We have vision, and we think 10 years ahead. We've already started working on how we can use artificial intelligence, embrace it, train our coworkers, and use it to our advantage instead of make it used against us. Because artificial intelligence is not something new. It's been there for at least 10 years. This is only the second wave of artificial intelligence. And I believe we need to embrace it. We need to learn how to use it. And we need to also be open to the opportunities and the new horizons it will give us. At the same time, we need to be cautiously optimistic and think of ways how we can create guidelines so that it can be ethical, it can be safe, so that other people wouldn't use it against us.
When you say it can be safe, does it mean that in the back of your mind, you think there are dangers?
Of course.
Such as what?
There are opportunities and dangers with any new technology.
Okay.
We just need to know the way how we can use it. For example, atomic energy. It can cure cancer, it can give us energy to millions of people. But at the same time, if we use it in the wrong way, it can kill millions of people. So it's the way how human beings use technology that will define this technology, whether good or bad.
Mr. Bennis, as I run by you some of the ideas, I'm going to do it for two concepts.
Okay.
Consumer or producer. Where would you put Morocco?
Morocco?
In terms of technology, in terms of so many
we are consumers. We don't produce technology yet. We have the abilities to be among the best in producing because our young engineers are really smart. They just need an environment where they can grow. You just need to believe in their environment so that they can stay in Morocco, work in Morocco, create their own ideas, their own startups, and they need us, you and the public and private sector to help them, to give them a place where they can channel their skills, to give them other chances where they can fail, but fail in a safe way. Fail and then move to the next level. Grow in a place where nobody would judge them. So we really need to think how we can convince our young engineers, our young people to stay in Morocco and grow in Morocco and believe in the Moroccan dream. Believe that if someone creates a startup, it has a chance to be a unicorn. There are many examples all over the world where young people created ideas and they become millionaires and billionaires. And we really need to have these role models. We really need to work as a nation, to work in education, in civil society and other stakeholders to see how we can manage to create these unicorns that will be models for other young people. Because through my experience with a lot of young people in different universities.
You're still young, you're 42?
Yeah, but I'm talking about 18, 19, 20. I am double their age. Right. We're close, but still, I am young in my mind.
Okay.
Through my experience with them, I see a lot of ambition, a huge energy. We just need to put that energy in the right direction. We just need to give them opportunities, not close doors in front of their eyes. Yes, the government is trying, but I'm talking about the mindsets.
Okay.
We're still having a mindset where it is limiting opportunities. We don't give chances, opportunities to young people. We don't listen to young people. So we just need to shift into giving more and more opportunities, open doors to them, and open new horizons, and be flexible, not rigid.
So we are embracing English for our educational system.
Yes.
What should we embrace too? What's the other thing that we should embrace?
It's a good step. It's a good first step by embracing a new language. By doing that, we're embracing a new culture, a new mindset, adding it to our
technology,
adding it to our rich mindset. We just need to embrace a culture of business, a culture of entrepreneurship, where everyone should have a chance.
Isn't that the real difference between quote unquote French mindset and English mindset? Where the second one would show you, teach you eventually to be an entrepreneur, and the other one, the first one, would teach you and lead you otherwise. Isn't that the one? Isn't that
part of it? Part of it. Well, as you can see, everybody can see, the French language and the French mindset is limiting by nature, because you need to speak French in the perfect way so that they can call you, okay, you speak
English,
French.
nobody cares.
With English, you just need to convey the message, because what counts is that I make business with you. I make business.
Yes.
It's all about interest. If I make business with you, that means I understand you, you understand me. The message is conveyed in a smooth way. That's all we need.
It does not have to be perfect.
I don't need you to speak a perfect language and a perfect accent, more perfect than the British or the English. No, I just need you to
understand me,
understand you, and have
the communication,
the chemistry of business.
Yes.
It's a business mindset. The French mindset is different. They call it the language of culture. Okay, we understand, we respect, it's a great culture, but it's a limiting culture, and it's a bullying language. I was bullied when I was young. My French teacher, الله يسامح لها. Of course, الله يسامح لها. We were young. She was maybe an old woman, and she was abusive teacher. Lots of beating, a lot of slapping, lots of bad words. And not only me, we were a generation. I'm talking about a generation. I wasn't a bad student, but I was in bad situations.
Okay.
And this situation really affected my schooling all over my life, until when I went to the US, and then I started gaining more confidence.
If I were in your place, I would tell you about a lot of things like that. But luckily, I am not in your place. You are in your place. So English is straightforward, right?
Yes.
Doing business.
It's not only about English. It's the language that the whole world is speaking.
So I'm getting there. I'm just
doors.
I'm getting there. Yeah. Straightforward. What counts is that you understand me, I understand you. We do business, and we grow our business, and we do it in earnest, whatever. French is different.
Yes.
And you're for the second one, for the first one. English, straightforward.
Yes, straightforward.
Isn't that a shift? And you were telling me it's not a shift.
It's not a shift.
Why is that?
It's not a shift. It's an addition. It's an addition. We're not shifting. We don't have the capacity
to
to
shift. You would still try to speak a perfect English.
It's better to speak good English than to speak broken English.
Though your partner or the one you're facing does not care about whether you, all he cares or they care about it.
It's a mindset. It's not about whether you speak perfect or not. It's a mindset.
Okay, I get it. So technology in education.
We need to change our mindsets.
Okay.
I see this in the 12 years I've been working. I've seen how people react to each other, and instead of reacting to the message, they react to the accents.
Yes.
And
I
I find it's my responsibility to tell people, especially when I go to universities, to tell them, please, let us not repeat the same issue we had with French. Let us not bully each other through British, American,
Explain
Indian.
bullying in Arabic. Explain bullying.
تنمر.
تنمو
شي كيضحك على شي يعني
شي واحد
كنضحكوا على بعضياتنا. انت ما كدويش الفرونسي مزيان،
انت ما مزيانش، ما كتمشيش مزيان.
اند ذن ملي يعني كتشوف باللي الناس بزاف تيعقبوا على هذه، كتقول اوكي ما غاديش نبقى ندوي بالفرونسي، وكتشكل لك واحد المشكل نفسي، اعاقه كتعيق لك التطور ديالك. We need to be careful not to repeat the same issue.
Yes.
We have a new chance with new generation who are, as I said, open. They have no sense of inferiority to anyone. They feel they are strong. They have the power. They just need where they can use their power in an open environment. We have the perfect recipe now to really move into a new level with this new generation. We only need to give them the tools. One of the tools is education, where English would be the language of education, the language of science, the language of technology, but we need to be careful not to use it into the wrong direction and stick to the mindset of, okay, you speak this accent, you're not at the level. You speak the other accent, you're the top level. And what is also very, very interesting and very, very crucial is that we should not fall in the trap of giving the chances to British Americans at the expense of Moroccans. They have knowledge, they have expertise.
We do.
We
have
need
knowledge.
that.
We do.
We
do have expertise.
Yes, but
I mean, go around. We do have expertise.
But let's be honest. We shouldn't be like the Gulf countries.
That's not the point.
Where they give salaries based on nationalities. No, we should be careful that we need competent people. It doesn't matter what their name is. It doesn't matter whether they are women or men or accents from this country or the other. It's all about competence. And the fact that we are moving into more hybrid environments will limit the way we see people, because we will only talk to people through technology.
I'm going to ask you a personal question, and then we'll afford you the opportunity to talk to the thousands and thousands of people who will be watching this show. When I came late today to meet you and apologized, were you surprised?
I was a little bit.
How? Why?
Yeah, because
I was late few minutes.
A few minutes is okay.
But then I apologized.
Yes.
Were you surprised that I apologized?
I was not surprised, but I was little bit surprised.
Why?
Because unfortunately this is something that we should work on.
Being on time and apologizing not being on time is surprising. Because I saw it on your face.
Yeah, we think that that time is it's fine to waste time, but it's not. Two things in life, if they go, they will never come back.
I mean, you can waste your time, but not waste people's time.
Two things, if they go, they will never come back. Time and health.
Okay.
And in Morocco, unfortunately, people waste a lot of time, and people don't have the mindset that it's not only about me; it's also about the other side, the other party. If I want to waste mine or my time, I shouldn't waste the other. Or at least I can call and tell people, okay, I am late, please bear with me. And this is something I witnessed when I came back in 2013. It took me 2-3 years to adapt myself to the new environment.
Wasting people's time?
Where people give me a time frame and they say, okay, let's meet بعد العصر. Yeah, well, I tell them, okay, بعد العصر, we have 3 hours. Give me a definite time.
Slot.
Yes, and they told me, okay, 6:30. I go at 6:30 and nobody there. So
okay. But I think it's changing.
It's changing. Of course, it's changing.
I think it's changing.
It's changing. We're moving. We're moving to
a different,
better time management.
See, Adnane, you have thousands of people who will be watching this show, hopefully, from your network and from l'Opinion des Jeunes network and from all the social media this show will be put on. look at them and tell them. What do you want to tell them? Young people, women, men, youngsters, teenagers, what would you tell them? You have a very, let's say, rich experience.
Humble experience.
So just go, please, and what do you want to tell them?
First of all, I would like to thank you very much for this opportunity and for being nice and flexible. And I enjoyed this discussion.
Thank you.
I enjoyed talking about not only about myself, but about education, the technology, the future. And I would love to tell your audience to believe in themselves, to believe in Morocco, to believe in their surrounding, to have faith in what they do, to work hard, have passion, ambition, but at the same time have discipline, because discipline is what will make you succeed in the future. Discipline is what will make you achieve your ambitions. And talk languages, be open, have a sense of international mindset, and as I said, believe in Morocco, believe in your country, and if you believe in your country will believe in you. If you give your country will give you. And inshallah, the future is ours. Embrace technology, learn technology, and it will be used in the right way if you start at an early age.
Adnane Bennis, thank you so much for coming to the show. I really did enjoy this talk. As I told you when I met with you this morning, I was not going to give you any questions, pre-prepared questions. I didn't give you any. It's not the way the show is conducted.
That's fantastic.
Yes, it's just open, and then we interact with each other as it comes. Thank you for being open. Thank you for being sincere. Thank you for bringing to the show your experience and to talking to the thousands and thousands of l'ODG friends and your network's friends about your experience, and inviting them to embark on this wonderful Moroccan dream, which is happening now and will be happening in the years to come. Dear l'ODG friends, thank you so much for being with us. This show comes to its end. So till the next one, take care of yourself and for the people you love. Have a good day.